Well, a war of words is echoing warlike scenes on the streets of LA. Donald Trump deploying Marines and the National Guard to confront immigration protesters, with Californian authorities now suing the president, accusing him of fueling the fire.
Rubber bullets, flashbangs and pepper spray deployed by police. Pieces of concrete hurled and cars set alight by protesters. A volatile situation inflamed?
Donald Trump has exacerbated the conditions, lit the proverbial match. He's putting fuel on this fire. This is Orwellian.
Or a city that's lost control of its streets.
If we didn't do the job, that place would be burning down just like the houses burned down.
President Donald Trump sending in 700 Marines and 2,000 more National Guard troops to control those protesting heavy-handed federal immigration raids.
Imagine how many adults are afraid to go to work, having no idea when and where these raids take place. You create this sense of fear and terror in a population.
Our PM today condemning the shooting of an Aussie journalist who was reporting on the protest when she was hit by a rubber bullet.
We have already raised these issues with the US administration. We don't find it acceptable that it occurred, and we think the role of the media is particularly important.
Californian authorities today announcing they're suing Trump.
We don't take lightly to the president abusing his authority and unlawfully mobilizing California National Guard troops.
An illegal act, an immoral act, an unconstitutional act. There's a protocol, there's a process. He didn't care about that.
Governor Gavin Newsom deploying more than 800 more of his own law enforcers, posting chaos is exactly what Trump wanted, and now California is left to clean up the mess. So as the protests begin to fan out across the nation, just how far will the civil unrest spread?
I'm not really scared of them. I'm more scared of what our country's becoming.
All these people come here with love, and all the people standing over there with hate, and we're just here to fight that.
I love my people. I can't keep sitting by watching my brothers and sisters getting taken.
David Cruz is from the League of United Latin American Citizens. He's in close contact with the protesters. So Donald Trump's assertion here is that this was already getting violent and out of control, and that if he hadn't sent in the National Guard, things would be a whole lot worse right now. Is that what happened?
That's a fair question. Look, within the ranks of the leaders of this, if you will, informal type of a coalition that forms, when people become very excited, very angry, there will be people who may arrive in a city like Los Angeles. We don't know who they are. We even are considering the possibility that someone or some have infiltrated this community because we don't know who they are. And look, I'm not going to defend destruction of property. I'm not going to defend people who are throwing rocks and bottles at officers. That's indefensible. The majority of the people, though, are not doing that. We are a nonviolent, lawfully organized group that's exercising our First Amendment right. But you're right. To the world, it looks like it's a city going up in flames. That's not the case.
So the protests are now spreading across the country. How serious is this? Why are people getting so riled up about it?
Because the notion that these individuals should be swept up wholesale without due process, without a day in court, without seeing a judge, being picked up in the darkness of the night. For instance, the case that really triggered LA was 200 people responding to appointment settings at the immigration office, only to be hurried down into a basement, held for 72 hours. That's when we became aware of it, and we called attention to it. So it isn't that we don't understand some people will not be allowed to stay. It's the process that's being used. And of course, coming in with military gear and the use of all this kind of equipment, it's something that really frightens people. And it's really being very counterproductive to the economy of our country. People are not showing up to jobs. Job sites are empty, kids are being kept out of school, and people are even afraid to get health care right now because there are agents that are in hospitals.
President Trump says that only the worst criminals are being targeted, rapists, murderers, people who've trafficked children. Is that not the case?
There are some people who have a criminal background, no doubt, and I did see the list released by Homeland Security yesterday. I wouldn't want them in my neighborhood either. We don't support people who have a criminal past. But that is a very, very, very tiny fraction of the people who are getting picked up. Let me tell you who is getting picked up. People who have been here 10 to 15 years, people who have been paying taxes, people who have been buying homes, whose kids go to school. And now these are people who are also part of the very fabric of the country. I don't know if you know this, but they pay into Social Security. They don't get any benefits out of that. They're now about to get taxed 3.5% for any money they send to their home country. So when you have out of one side that they're a source of income for America, but on the other, they're criminals, there's got to be something there that's just not true.
That's remarkable scenes in what looks like it might be a signal moment. David, you sound like you got your work cut out. We'll let you go do it. Thank you very much for speaking to us.
Thank you. Thank you so much.